Hey y'all, we're continuing to go through this book, Liturgy of the Ordinary, Sacred Practices in Everyday Life. I encourage you to get it. It is especially relevant now because we are all stuck in our everyday life. And she teaches us, this author teaches us, things that we can learn about God and ourselves in going through an everyday, a normal day of life. What she does is she starts with waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and just walks us through an ordinary day and things that we can learn throughout it. This chapter, the last one that we're going to look at, is called Drinking Tea. The subtitle is Sanctuary and Savoring. So she talks about ignoring all of the uncleanness and things like that, the crazy distractions in her house, because she's got a house full of kids, and just taking a moment to savor a cup of tea that she made for herself. She said, "In our house, quiet moments like this are rare. In order to embrace them, tasks, distractions, and pestering worries have to willfully be set aside." She makes herself, forces herself to lay aside all the things she could be doing to enjoy something that she is doing. And she writes this paragraph: "Our culture's relationship with pleasure is complex. On the one hand, we seem obsessed with pleasure. We overindulge and overeat. We are addicted to amusement and are overwhelmed by pornography, sexual gratuity, and violence both on screens and off. Ironically, greed and consumerism dull our delight. The more we indulge, the less pleasure we find." She says that in our consumeristic society, we spend endless energy and money seeking pleasure, but we are never satisfied. And we can see this in our workaholism and our constant connectivity, being connected all the time. It fights against our ability to be present to the pleasure of the moment. What she encourages us to do is to, in a sense, simplify our lives, to unplug, to slow down, and to take time to enjoy God's creation, God's gift to us in the physical things that we have around us. You know, we're all in a place now, a lot of us, where we are slowed, where we don't have as much going on. We're constantly connected, but we can disconnect. And maybe by doing that, we can really enjoy something. When was the last time that you truly savored and enjoyed something for the thing itself? Not to post it on Instagram, not to tell a person about it, not while you were doing many other things, but really just focusing single-mindedly on that one thing. She encourages us to do that. She points to G.K. Chesterton, who is a Catholic theologian and writer, and he says that we see in God a childlike wonder. You know, when you're playing around with kids, this happens a lot in my house. You do something and the children always say, "Do it again." And the grown-up person does it until he is nearly dead. This is what Chesterton writes. He says, "Perhaps God is strong enough to exult in monotony." So like the boring daily stuff that happens over and over and over again, like a child, he enjoys it. He wants to do it again. He said it is possible that God says every morning, "Do it again" to the sun. That's why sunrises are so beautiful. And every evening, "Do it again" to the moon. That every morning we have a beautiful sunrise. Every day we have a beautiful sunset. Maybe it is God telling the universe, "Do it again," like a child rejoicing in the repetitive nature, in the beauties of life. She says, as busy, practical, hurried, and distracted people, we develop habits of inattention and miss these tiny theophanies, appearances of God in our day. that we're constantly thinking about the next thing and what is next on the agenda and what else could I be doing, fear of missing out. But if we are fully alive and whole, no pleasure would be too ordinary or too commonplace to stir up adoration. She quotes James 1, where it says, "Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights." Everything that we see around us, every breath that we take, every day that the sun is shining, and every day that the rain falls on the earth is a gift from God. And how often, how rarely do we slow down to pay attention to the millions and millions of gifts that God gives us? And so she encourages us to take some time today to enjoy something, to slow down, to not do anything else, to focus all of your attention on one thing, whatever it may be, whether it's reading a book, enjoying a cup of tea, enjoying some food, whatever it may be. Like for me, it's sitting down and holding my son, my newborn son, and looking deep into his eyes and just enjoying the beauty of a human being that God created in his image. There's so many beautiful things around us. Go outside, take a walk, leave your phone, disconnect from the things around you so that you can connect with God, the giver of every good gift that we experience every moment of every day.